Well, Lori, you've been in the plumbing business a little while, I guess.
Yes, about 20 years.
About 20 years, okay. So, and you were the business manager here?
Office
Office
manager.
manager.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what happens when pipes burst?
Well, they freeze and then you have to wait for them to thaw out. After they thaw out, you get a plumber out there to find which pipe is broken and you have to replace them.
Wow. So, you went through the last freeze-mageddon.
I did,
And,
yes.
and how'd that go?
We had hundreds and hundreds of calls.
That many people's pipes burst?
Yes.
Wow.
People don't usually prepare well or know what to do when it's frozen. The most important part is leaving your cabinet doors open and then making sure your hot and cold water are dripping or, at a slow stream so that water is constantly going through those pipes. It doesn't freeze as easy that way.
Why hot water too?
Because your water heater can freeze and the pipes to the water heater is what comes into your home.
So is there more danger with pipes on an outside wall?
Yes, so north-facing walls are the most important to protect. Make sure your hose bibs are covered. If you can't get one of those fancy-dancy little hose bib covers, you can use a towel with a plastic bag and tape it around it, and that'll help protect that hose bib from freezing.
Okay, so typically, what are people in for when their pipes freeze?
A big bill. A big bill, because it's not cheap to either crawl underneath your house if you've got a pier and beam or jackhammer through your house or run it overhead. Those are your options, and those are your only options usually.
Right. So if it freezes inside your walls, do you go inside the house to get to the pipes?
Well, it depends. Like if it's a slab house, we go in, find the manifold, but when they're frozen, once they thaw out, then we can see which lines have dropped the water. Those are the lines that are broken and are leaking. And so then we either have to reroute those overhead into the attic, through the attic, or we have to jackhammer up the house.
Oh, wow. So you have to go below ground.
Below ground, yeah.
Is that typically where pipes freeze?
Yeah, they can, yeah.
So with it being, an extensive, below freezing. for
Yeah,
several
we're
days.
expected with 3 days worth of below freezing, so they can freeze.
So if typically when pipes freeze, what happens?
You have no water. Basically, that's your first sign. You go to turn on your water and you will have none, either hot or cold. So if you didn't leave your faucets dripping or, at a steady stream, then your pipes are frozen. You have to wait until it thaws out. And then once it thaws out, you'll have either low pressure or no pressure at all.
So do the pipes crack open?
Yeah, they bust because the water will stay in that pipe and it expands as it freezes. So if you've got copper pipes, it'll just crack a hole in that copper pipe.
And then when it thaws, what?
Then it's just a hole in your pipe and the water goes right through that hole and won't get to your fixtures.
So it's going to end up flooding the house, man.
Yeah, it could, well, if it's under the ground, it'll flood under, it'll just start, you'll notice your flooring buckling up and stuff like that. So then oh, something's wrong. Or it'll come through the walls, underneath your cabinets and your sink areas. So you'll notice it once it...
So it's a lot of water comes a lot of places
Yeah.
where you don't want it to be.
Well, you don't want it, yeah, because flooring's expensive to replace. Usually most people have to get their insurance companies involved and have them help pay for that cost. But yeah, you'll notice flooring buckling or tiles popping up if you have tile floors, or water stains underneath your kitchen sink or your bathroom sinks, or, you'll start noticing it eventually once it thaws out.
So when it's underground, can it cause a void under your house?
I'm not really sure about that part of it, but I know that I would assume it could erode the dirt, but I'm not the expert on that part. It would be your foundation companies, would have to maybe get involved on that part of it, but yeah, it's not a good thing.
So it's, I guess, if the water stops, should you find a way to shut your water off?
Yes, so if you notice that you have no pressure when you go, and your pipes are frozen, go to your main cutoff for your water meter and cut it off. If you can't cut it off yourself, the city will do it for you. I know sometimes they'll charge a fee for that, but you can get somebody to come get your water shut off. That way you can minimize the damage.
So, and there's a special tool for that, right?
There is, it's a water meter key.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
actually, I have one of those. I think I need to dig that out.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you find out that your water pipes are frozen, I would immediately go and shut the water off. That way, when they do thaw out, it won't start flooding wherever it's broken at.
And then I guess it's just getting in line.
Getting in line with a plumber. Get a professional involved and get in line, because there's going to be lots of calls. If it's as bad as they're going to say it is, yeah.
So, yeah, you said hundreds of calls last time.
Yes, in 2021, I was sitting at my dining room table taking hundreds of calls.
Golly, and I guess you kind of expect that again?
I don't expect it as bad this time. I don't think it's going to be as many hours under freezing, but I do expect a lot of calls, yes.
So what if you're pier and beam? Is that worse?
Well, you've got air going underneath that house, so you've got that cold air. If your pipes aren't insulated underneath your house, then, it's worse. It's got no protection, basically.
Yeah, it's just sitting out there in the cold.
Yeah.
So, and you yourself have a pier and beam?
I do, yes, and I have my hose bibs already wrapped and ready to go, and I've got like cardboard. I just get a cardboard box and I put little tape box pieces in my vents so that the air can't get underneath there so bad.
Oh, okay. So you try to block off your skirting.
Yeah, just try and block the wind, especially on the north side.
Okay.
And the ones by my hose bibs, so that the air doesn't get close to those hose bibs. So yeah, I take the cheap route, but it worked.
Well,
it worked last time, so.
I would imagine most people would take the cheap route.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess a lot of people that have pier and beam kind of already know that, right?
Most of them should. If they've been through 2021, they're probably already preparing and expecting, what to do now. So most of the houses in my neighborhood are pier and beam, and so I'm hoping that all my neighbors have already gotten their stuff protected.
So when you get these calls, do you find they're more pier and beam, or just kind of?
It's both. It's both. We got both last time, so I'm expecting both. And so, it's unfortunate. Some people who have electric heat don't have the option of keeping your cabinet doors and having your heat in your home kind of keep those pipes warm. I'm fortunate to have gas, and so I will have all my cabinets open so the heat can get to the pipes.
Okay, all right. I guess that's the best thing you do. Open the cabinets.
Run your water, and I know it's a high water bill, but it's so much cheaper than paying a plumber to come fix your pipes.
What's the cost on that? I guess
it ranges.
Yeah.
It just ranges. It just depends on what's broken and how much has to be done. If it's a slab and we have to jackhammer, it's more expensive. If it's pier and beam, we can go under the house and replace the pipes. So it really just depends. It could be several $100s to several $1,000s.
That's kind of what I was afraid of.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, just protect your outside hose bibs and run your water.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, Danny. Well, what happens when the worst happens and your pipes freeze and break?
Well, first off, you have to shut your water off, call somebody in, the restoration people. They come in and they set fans up, and they suck all the water up. You know what I mean? It's a process. Once they're done, your plumber comes in, then they do their thing. They find the leak, get it fixed. With this cold weather like we have, it's pretty common. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it's I guess whether pier and beam or
slab. Yeah, pier and beam and slab. Yeah.
I guess so. You guys can't even start doing your work till they get the water out of there.
9 times out of 10, yes. Now pier and beam, that's a little different. You can get in there and fix that. But boy, when it comes to slab, it's a little different. You know what I mean?
So what, once the water is cleared out, what are some of the things you might have to do?
You may have to cut into a wall, cut the copper, take it out, solder your stuff back in, the fittings and stuff back in, turn them back on. I mean, it's just main thing is all these hose bibs that are sticking out, that 9-degree weather, man, it's not good. They have to make these little covers, and boy, that's a very important thing. You need to have those all on your hose bibs outside.
So when weather's this cold, is it better to drip it or put?
Oh yes, you need to leave it dripping for sure.
Yeah.
So,
but like covering and dripping, probably shouldn't do that.
no, you can cover these outside ones.
Okay.
But on the inside, on your faucets in the house, leave them dripping a little.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, the outside faucets. Is it better to let them drip or cover?
I wouldn't let them drip. I would cover them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But
I guess that holds the house heat
yeah,
into it a little bit more.
It does. Some people open up their cabinet doors to their, where their sinks and stuff are, and that helps out a lot.
So, what are some of the possible things that happen after it thaws and you find out you have a break? Where does the water come up?
Oh, it just depends. I've seen them come through a wall, run down the wall on the floor. They'll follow. Sometimes they'll follow that bottom plate on that 2x4, and they'll run out down there, and you'll be, you know what I mean. It's a matter of cutting sheetrock and getting into it. It's pretty involved.
I guess sometimes it's under the foundation, right?
Oh yeah.
What happens with that?
Well, we do ours overhead. We'll go find the manifold, cut that manifold, which would be the hot or the cold. Cut that manifold, and usually the empty one, there are 4 or 5 copper lines sticking up. Usually that empty one is the one's the culprit. Anyway, we run overhead, then take PEX and run overhead through your attic down to the other end, and just kill the line that's under the ground. You know what I mean? So,
what is a manifold?
it's a manifold is where your water comes up. Like when you come off the meter, they come into your house with a 1-inch line, commonly, and then from there they loop back down and go to your kitchen. They go to so there's your manifold. You know what I mean? Kitchen, bathroom. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just there'd be a manifold at each sink, basically. You know what I mean? So
it's kind of like a splitter. I
yeah,
guess.
they don't they don't allow fittings under the slab. That's why they do the manifold. You know what I mean? You're not allowed fittings on the slab, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You don't have to cut your
Yes.
slab or jackhammer the slab.
Right,
I guess that
right.
happens sometimes, right?
Oh yeah, it does. It does. There's houses here that some of them have them. You know what I mean?
So I guess if it does break under your foundation, kind of take me through the process of what you guys have to go through to fix it.
Well, like I say, we find the manifolds, and we'll cut the wall right at the manifold. Cut that manifold loose. There'll be lines coming up from it, but cut that manifold loose. And you test each line, have a gauge on it, test each line, and that gauge goes down. Well, there's your bad one. You know what I mean? Then you have to go keep air on it. You have a guy at other fixture locations. He'll turn it on, to check to see which one's not getting. You know what I mean? But anyway, it's a process to it.
So you put pressure in the line to see which one is leaking.
Right. Yeah. And that gauge falls, that's going to be the one. So.
Okay. All right. And then you got to track down where it's at.
Oh yeah. So then you'll have another cut in the sheetrock at the other end of it. You know what I mean? It gets pretty involved.
Yeah. And so I guess if you can't get your water shut off, what kind of damage would you be looking at?
Well, a lot of damage. That water can ruin floors, walls. I mean, and then the mold. You have mold. That's where the restoration people come in there with them fans and dehumidifiers, and it's a process to it. It really is.
So I guess it's kind of a long process.
Pretty expensive too. You know what I mean? I mean, nobody realizes. I mean, you don't even think about plumbing until it breaks, and then there you are. You know what I mean?
So I guess drip your faucets.
That's right. Yeah. Make sure all your hose bibs covered outside. You know what I mean? And like I say, some people they'll open them cabinet doors and just let the heat in. You know what I mean? And it's 9 degree. I think it's going to get down to. That's a lot. That's not typically Texas. You know what I mean?
Right. So, are there any areas that are more susceptible to others? Like I heard something about if you have pipes in the wall on the north side of your house, maybe that's
That's
worse?
very possible, yes. Yeah, the north side, yeah, it gets very cold. Like I said, it's very important for the outside first on your hose bibs, and just like I say, keep your heat on if possible. You know what I mean? It may have power outages or whatever, but
Find some way to keep the pipes warm.
that's right. That's right.
Keep you and the pipes warm.
That's right. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thanks a lot.
All right, you're welcome.